There was once a time when these short tales scared children everywhere, myself included. Now is the time! Join me as I take on the R.L. Stine saga, one story at a time. Viewers beware, you're in for a scare. What better way to start this series than looking at number 1 in the Goosebumps Saga? Welcome to Dead House! What's our opening cover art to the first Goosebumps release ever? Well, it's very generic and honestly appealing to the eye. It's just a haunted house with some eerie lighting coming from the door and illuminating some creepy guy in the window. Granted, the house doesn't look anything like the way it's described in the book, but I'll give you that. Plus, my favorite part about these books is the little phrase atop the cover. This one is just, "It will just kill you." Pretty straightforward, Mr. Stine. Now, turning around the back, what do you have to say to draw me into reading this book besides the cover? Look alive! Okay, even though on the front we established that this just will kill me, I feel conflicted now. Amanda and Josh think the old house they have just moved into is weird, spooky, possibly haunted, and the town of Dark Falls is pretty strange too, but their parents don't believe them. You'll just get used to it, they say. Go out and make some new friends. So Amanda and Josh do, but these new friends are not exactly what their parents had in mind, because they want to be friends forever. God knows that's the worst thing is having a friend forever. And of course, we close with the reader beware, you're in for a scare. Then a quick promotion of some other books available. Stay Out of the Basement and Monster Blood. I don't think I've encountered either of these two books during my childhood adventures, but I sure will now! We start the story with Amanda narrating to the reader about how creepy the old house is that her family is moving into. It's a fixer-upper, but hey, it's free. Her dad's great uncle passed away and left it for them in his will. Although they've never met him before, but hey, it's a free house. Nothing suspicious about that, right? Her little brother Josh doesn't like the idea of leaving their old house and runs away with their dog. They find him running in the cemetery from something. But what? Oh, no, he's just chasing the dog, not actually running from anything, huh. The family is preparing to move, and Amanda has to say goodbye to her best friend, Kathy. I think some people were surprised that Kathy and I stayed such good friends. Amanda says this in reference to her being skinny and Kathy, well, being fat. Shallow bitch. So they finally move into the neighborhood that seems to always be overcast or covered in shadows by the trees, but that's not suspicious, right? Amanda sees a ghost in the window of the second floor when they come to the house. Of course, no one believes Amanda when she tells her family that there's a boy ghost upstairs. But damn it, she's gonna prove them wrong and goes to check it out. Just as she's done exploring the upstairs, a ghost boy grabs her from behind. Nope, it's just Josh. You had me going there for a second, book. Yeah, almost had me, but it's only chapter 5. Way too early to be spooking me yet. Amanda gets even with her brother by scaring him into faking a ghost had gotten her. He runs away screaming for mommy and daddy. Now, we all know sleeping in a new place is hard. New sounds, new smells, you know how it goes. Well, Amanda has an honestly disturbingly detailed dream about her family all being dead skeletons eating dinner together. Well, she wakes up to notice that the curtains are blowing, but the window is closed. So, it's a new day, and the parents want the kids to go out after breakfast. Amanda goes up the stairs to get changed for the day, and boom! A girl goes to the top of the stairs, including the boy. We now got 2 spectral terrors in this house. Hey! The ghost is gone. Josh and Amanda get dressed to leave. That was a short chapter. The two walk down the street and meet a boy named Ray. He happens to look just like the boy in the window. Ray also used to live in their house. They also get introduced to a large group of children by the playground. The creepy kids surround them and start to close in. 2 of them are holding bets. But Mr. Dawes, the realtor that originally gave him the tour of the new house, shows up. He's on his way to visit their parents, the kids disperse, and they actually have a fun game of baseball. However, the clouds begin to clear up, revealing the sun. The kids immediately decide it's time to stop playing and go home. Of the kids they met, George, Jerry, and Karen, Amanda invites Karen to visit them at their house. She is positive that Karen says, but isn't quite sure, that Karen used to live in the house too. Amanda and Josh are left confused and walk home with their dog. So Karen and Ray used to live in Amanda's house. Haha, spooky. Time goes by, they keep playing with the kids they met and bringing their dog out with them. Unfortunately, they have to keep tying the pup up to the post because something I didn't mention before, the dog hates everyone and barks at everyone that lives in this town. Well, the dog escapes at one point and the 2 kids are desperate to try and find their puppy. Although the mom helps them search for the dog, they eventually have to leave for a neighborhood block party, leaving the kids home alone. Josh wakes up Amanda at midnight to go looking for the dog in the cemetery, which is, where I would have looked in the first place. That's where the dog ran away in chapter 2, you Nimrod! They take off with a flashlight and someone appears to be following them. It's Ray. Ray's following them. Oh, and he really doesn't want them to go to the cemetery, almost threatening them not to go. They find their dog in the cemetery, and he's not the same. He's ignoring the kids, and he used to run up to them with excitement anytime he'd see them. They also discover an amphitheater in the cemetery. Interesting. But the big kicker, Amanda notices Karen, George, and Jerry's name on a tombstone. And Ray's. Well, Ray is dead, and the dead people of the town have killed their dog. That's why he doesn't seem to recognize them and doesn't jump up to them like he used to. Fuck you, Ray! You killed their dog! Burn in hell, you little piece of shit! Ray begins to advance on Amanda. Well, a flashlight beam to the face from Josh melts Ray's face off, and he collapses into dust. They run home in hopes of finding their parents, but only find Karen, Jerry, and George there. George tells them, "We used to live in your house." Jerry then follows up with, "And now, guess what? Now we're dead in your house." What? That was shoddy writing for Goosebumps standards. Come on, man. So they explain that they trick a new family every year to move into the house for the town. I guess they sacrifice it. It's not really explained. And there is no great uncle, obviously called that one. And they advance on the 2 children. Mr. Dawes actually shows up at the house and rescues the children from the dead. He says their parents are hidden in the amphitheater in the cemetery. They hop in his car and start heading towards the parents. Also, when they get to the cemetery, they discover a tombstone. Mr. Dawes is also dead. This was a normal town once, and we were normal people. Most of us worked in the plastics factory on the outskirts of town. Then there was an accident. Something escaped from the factory. A yellow gas. It floated over the town. So fast, we didn't see it. Didn't realize. And then it was too late, and Dark Falls wasn't a normal town anymore. We were all dead, Amanda. Dead and buried. But we couldn't rest. We couldn't sleep. Dark Falls was a town of living dead. It's weird. Like I said, it's not really explained why they have to sacrifice the family once a year. Kind of thought that would be touched on, but whatever. The flashlight is broken, and Mr. Dawes is now advancing on them. So, with the flashlight being broken, what is Josh gonna do? He just chucks it at his face. I like this kid. They run into the new morning sunlight where Dawes can't go. The dead now begin to gather at the amphitheater where the parents are tied up, waiting for the end. Amanda and Josh notice a tree that is about to fall over. If it does, the sunlight will flood the amphitheater and they will be able to save their parents. They push as hard as they can! It doesn't budge. Well, it turns out they push it enough times and the tree falls over. The sunlight fills the theater and all the dead turn into dust. A rather creepy moment as Karen dies, she thanks Amanda. The kids free their parents and takes no time for them to pack their belongings. Amanda's checking out the house one last time before a new family shows up at the house. As the family leaves in their car, Amanda notices a Dawes-looking figure standing on the porch. It looks like it's starting all again! I honestly enjoyed this book, the first in the Goosebumps series. It's a great jumping on point by R.L. Stine. He's very clever with his writing and keep it at the simple target demographic, and yet you're still kind of unsure where he's gonna go. I thought this was gonna be a haunted house and turn out to be kind of a zombie town. This is a little mixed bag, and I really appreciated the turns that it gave. The ending was a little forced, like it was trying to be Twilight Zone-y, where like they all turned to dust. Shouldn't they all be kind of done now? Why would they be avoiding the light if it couldn't kill them and they come right back? I don't know. The ending just felt a little rushed for me. I mean, there was a few questionable conversations where you're like, why would somebody talk like that? But overall, it was very good. A good jumping on point for the series. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hey y'all, this is the first in a new series I'm gonna start working on. Goosebumps have been popping up all over the place, and I'm like, you know what, why don't I review these? This is something interesting. This is something unique, right? I guess you could call this the Goosebumps series, or the R.L. Stine Saga, I don't know. I've always wanted to tackle these books, and they're easy reads now. I don't see much on the internet in regards to like an actual series based on this other than a general retrospect. So let me know what y'all think. This is a new take, a new idea I wanted to run with. Do a couple episodes of it and see what everyone thinks, and just kind of keep running. I don't know, I like it. Any particular Goosebumps y'all want me to check out? I know there's new ones that have been coming out, but I'm kind of going to tackle the classics right now, and yeah, I'd love to hear some feedback from you guys.